Have you ever noticed that the loudest voices often fade into oblivion, while those who reveal less wield greater control? Power isn't always about making a grand statement. Sometimes it's about keeping people guessing. This brings us to Law 2 from Robert Greene's The 48 Laws of Power. Never put too much trust in friends, learn how to use enemies. Otto von Bismarck was one of the greatest political leaders in the history of Europe, belonging to the 19th century. It was not the intelligence and political acumen that allowed him to reach such high levels of power and keep them, but rather because he had an exceptional strategy to deal with his enemies. Rather than shutting the door to his opponents, Bismarck welcomed them. He had a remarkable talent for turning adversaries into allies by involving them in his political endeavors. Bismarck understood that excluding enemies could lead to resentment and rebellion, which would weaken his position. Instead of letting his adversaries fester on the outside, he brought them into his political sphere, often offering them significant roles. He made them feel valued and integral to the system by giving his opponents positions of power and responsibility. The roles were not mere gestures, but gave him former enemies a stake in his success. Once within the system, their opposition faded with the fortunes of Bismarck's triumph. This was a risky approach, but Bismarck did not take long to demonstrate his acumen in countering these risks. He knew how to utilize the ambitions and talents of his opponents in ways that helped both his goals and the greater political structure he wanted to create. In this regard, Bismarck didn't just neutralize threats, but gained new perspectives, insights, and skills that would strengthen his administration. It was a classic example of the saying, "Keep your friends close and your enemies closer." Bismarck's strategy was neither mere manipulation, but also fundamentally pragmatic. He knew well that only through cooperation can lasting stability be achieved even with those who once opposed him. This strategy had the effect of reducing conflicts, increased trust within his government, and a degree of unity which might not have been otherwise possible through exclusion or force. This method is visible in his long-lasting legacy. Bismarck unified Germany and, to a great extent, maintained peace in Europe throughout most of his term, an achievement that would have been much more difficult had he only suppressed his enemies. His example shows that opposition doesn't always need to be eradicated. Sometimes it can be transformed into a source of strength. This lesson holds true to date. With the management of competitors in a strategic and respectful manner, even the fiercest competitor can turn into a very precious goldmine. Steve Jobs-Bill Gates rivalry has long been considered one of the most hotly contested rivalries ever witnessed in the history of technology. He was an inspired leader who was driving innovation forward with his respective companies Apple and Microsoft. Their competition sometimes seemed very personal, as public clashes and sharp remarks often were splashed across the front pages. But this story turned in an unexpected direction when, in the late 1990s, Apple was going through one of the darkest periods in its history. At that time, Apple was at the verge of bankruptcy. The company had lost its direction, and its market share was dropping fast. Many thought Apple was hopeless. Steve Jobs, who returned to Apple after being evicted years before, realized that something drastic had to be done. In a shocking move, he called the person he probably detested the most, Bill Gates, his greatest competitor, for assistance. It was an extraordinary moment, with Jobs setting aside their differences and focusing on what mattered: saving Apple. Bill Gates and Microsoft came in, agreeing to invest $150 million in Apple. This was not just about money, it also involved commitments to develop Microsoft Office and Internet Explorer for Mac, ensuring that Apple's products remained relevant and competitive. For Apple, this deal was a lifeline. For Microsoft, it was a strategic move to avoid monopoly accusations and keep a major competitor afloat, ensuring a healthy tech ecosystem. This move underlined Steve Jobs' ability to look beyond personal pride and rivalry. In fact, by working with someone he had publicly clashed with for years, Jobs showed an amazing level of pragmatism and strategic thinking. He knew that saving Apple meant looking at the bigger picture, even if it meant working with a rival. The partnership proved beneficial for both companies. Apple not only survived but eventually thrived, becoming one of the most valuable companies in the world. Microsoft, too, benefited from the competitive pressure Apple provided, which drove innovation in its own products. This lesson that history teaches us is how even the fiercest rivals can find common ground if mutual interests are aligned. It shows the importance of putting aside ego and focusing on what really matters. For Jobs, it was saving his company. For Gates, it was about securing the future of the tech industry. Together, they showed that collaboration between enemies can lead to the most extraordinary outcomes. This law, too, teaches us that we should be cautious with whom we trust with friends. Friends, however familiar and comforting, could grow envious or become arrogant in time. They will even expect favors or base decisions on emotions rather than rationality. On the other hand, enemies motivated by self-interest can be more reliable if managed accordingly. This law encourages you to look beyond the surface of relationships and assess people based on their motives rather than your personal emotions. This way, you can make even your toughest competitors your best friends. Overall, this law is all about strategic relationships that have a higher purpose. Human relationships are complex and often regulated by secret motives. Friends who share identical backgrounds or values sometimes feel threatened with your achievements. Their expectations bring dissatisfaction, and the action undertaken by them does not depict objectivity. However, enemies are often the most cunning. They are willing to work much harder to earn your trust, as they know they have to prove that they are deserving of respect. History provides countless incidents where enemies have turned to be the biggest supporters when such opportunities have come. There exists law to remind us not to fall into the trap of blindly trusting friends or completely dismissing adversaries. Strategy and objectivity should be your guide. This law provides you with transforming foes into friends may open doors to you that would otherwise be closed. Reliance on friends for loyalty can lead to an objective and rational choice of action. Maintaining foes close may make it possible to keep enemies under check. Emotional tension. Dealing with enemies takes a great deal of patience and control over oneself. Risk of rejection. If not properly managed, the relationship could turn worse and increase conflicts. Friction with friends. Friends may feel neglected or resentful, straining your personal connections. Audit your relationships. Take a close look at the people around you. Identify who your true friends and enemies are. Understand their motivations and how they might impact your life. Manage friendships wisely. Set clear boundaries with friends. Avoid putting too much pressure on them for favors or loyalty. This will maintain respect and ensure the relationship remains balanced. Use enemies. Find common ground with your rivals. Start small, with low-stakes interactions, and build trust gradually. Look for mutual benefits that can create a stronger relationship. Focus on objectivity. Make decisions based on facts and outcomes rather than emotions. Evaluate whether your relationships, whether with friends or enemies, still serve your long-term goals. Practice emotional detachment. Train yourself to keep personal feelings out of business or strategic decisions. Focus on the bigger picture rather than immediate gratification. Learn from history. Study successful examples of this law in action. Understand what made these strategies work and how you can apply them to your own life. Avoid repeating mistakes by learning from failures. Law 2 reminds us that trust is a valuable commodity that should be earned, not given free. You can keep people in balance and under control by the strategic management of your friendships and enmities. Remember, power isn't about force or loyalty alone. It's about understanding motivations and using them to your advantage. Trust wisely and power will follow.